What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy King 053, Mr. Easy Money, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time, ladies and gentlemen, I want to speak about this load shedding in South Africa, where we are in stage 6 now, apparently, and they are proposing that before winter ends, we'll be entering stage 16, which I don't know what that means. Total blackout, a full day without electricity. Um, however they please to do the situation there. I want to cover some few things. I want to compare quickly the CEOs of Eskom, the amount of electricity they lost, and the amount of load shedding we experienced in their time. Can't go too far because before 2007, there wasn't any problems when it comes to Eskom and all of that. So I want to speak about that. I also want to speak about um, the decision of employing Andre the Ruyter in Eskom as CEO. Well, he had no track record of engineering and in this field specifically, of which I don't think is that much of a problem. But to me, when you are not there to fix the problem, but to point out the problem, that's where I have an issue with you. I want to speak about that decision of Cyril Ramaphosa employing Andre the Ruyter. And then I want to speak about um, what this will mean in the future when we look back to the past of South Africa. I honestly think, and you guys will correct me on this one, when we look back anywhere in the course of South Africa, in the history of South Africa, we go back and forth from the World Cups wins, from the xenophobic attack, the July unrest, and xenophobic attacks. And when you look at when we can specify or point out one specific event that crippled and put South Africa on its knees, it's load shedding and load shedding under Andre the Ruyter. That we must say it without any fear of favor that employing this man was one of the biggest mistakes in South African history, and it took our country down. Why am I saying that? Under the Ruyter, when it came to Eskom, he was there to expose the corruption, of which everyone knew there is corruption in Eskom. In fact, there is corruption in any department, any stake-owned company, any private-owned company, any gym, any tuck shop, any school. Everywhere you can go, you will find that there's people that are maneuvering themselves around the system for their own personal gain. So Andre the Ruyter was there to point that out. I'm also going to speak about the Zuma and the Guptas. Anyway, Andre the Ruyter was just there to point out the faults. He did not have the capacity to fix Eskom. And from day one, this man was telling us that this job is crazy. I'm not going to be able to. When they were interviewing him and after they employed him, he said, I can do this. I know I can do this. After a few 2 months, then load shedding started under his watch. And Andre the Ruyter could not, I'm not talking about fix Eskom, could not stabilize Eskom. He made it worse. Another thing I'm finding funny, you go to every hood, you go to every province, there's places, you guys correct me if I'm right or wrong on the comment section, there's places where people don't get load shedding at all, whether being those people they are close to a hospital or close to a water reservoir or close to I don't know what. They don't get load shedding at all. I'm one of those people anyway. So and there's places in the location where they don't get load shedding at all. Everyone else is getting all of these stages, and I'm telling you guys, no load shedding only affects me when I leave the house. when I leave the house, load shedding affects me. When I'm here in the, I bought a new house, guys. I'm staying in town somewhere in Kimberley. I never got load shedding since January, since I came to this house. You know, that's for Sisi. Not even an hour, nothing. But when I go out at work on my business, it's affecting me badly. It's costing me money. Let's go back to and I'm asking that because is there really a problem with electricity in South Africa? You keep on hearing everyone saying we don't have a capacity problem, we have a leadership problem. So these machines can work. The problem is you guys are not managing it properly. Oh my goodness. Guys, Andre the Rita has put South Africa down. Let's go to the stats quickly. If we look at the load shedding schedules from 2007. 2007, we had the CEO was Jacob Maroga. Jacob Maroga, 2007, 2008, and 2009. He was the CEO. Absolutely no load shedding. In 2010, we had Brian Dames. Brian Dames was there until 2012, 2013. Absolutely no load shedding. In 2014, Brian Dames then was joined by this Tsotsi Barke Colin Magila. Colin Magila. Then load shedding was there in 2014. We experienced 121 hours of load shedding, and then in 2015, where this Brian Molefe came in, he came in when there was a problem at Eskom. They brought Brian Molefe in. Uh, he came in under Tidiso Matona. So when Brian Molefe came in, there was load shedding, 852 hours. But when Brian Molefe started taking over with him and Mr. Koko, Brian Molefe and Koko, in 2016 and 2017, there was absolutely no load shedding. And then the problem started rising. Look at that. Phakamani Hadebe in 2018, 127 hours of load shedding, not too bad. Phakamani was then joined by Jabu. Then they had 530 hours of load shedding. That was the problem. So from 530, if you are coming in as Brian as Andre the Raider, you need to stable the ship. It needs to be 500 or less. Stable it. It must not go. It must not be more. But what does Andre the Raider do? First year 20. He came in at the end of 2029, guys. If you can remember properly, 2020 during COVID, he hits us with 859 hours of load shedding, losing the most amount in terms of electricity voltage that was lost in the system. And then in 2021, he gave us 1,136, and in 2022 he doubled that amount. So when we're talking about just looking at the numbers only, Andre the Raider was the worst CEO in Eskom. Don't make any excuses. Other people found problems in Eskom and they found it. Example, Brian Molefe. Everyone was accusing Jacob Zuma. Everyone was accusing the Guptas. But when those people left and the new people and the new face came in, which is Andre the Raider, things got worse. Andre the Raider then went into his own pocket to employ a private investigation in Eskom. Just imagine. Are you here to fix the problem or are you here to investigate the problem? You might say, King, but he was just trying to identify. The problem was there. We all knew the problem that people were stealing coal. People were playing around with the quality of coal. We know workers were playing around in terms of their tenders. Tenders were awarded to the wrong. Those things is things that we know. Politicians are eating. Those things we knew. We knew. We just couldn't point it out. But from a distance, we knew those things. Andre the Ruyter comes in. And I'm telling you, South Africa, we will look back and Andre the Ruyter will be the worst decision that we have ever made in our country. We cannot, he's a hero to white people because he came in and destroyed the ANC. Of course he's a hero. He's a hero. He destroyed the country. Only the rich will survive in this country with these solar panels on top of their roofs. For the rest of us, we're going to feel stage 16, stage 20 and stage 100. Why don't they round it off and just say stage blackout or whatever? You know, we're going to struggle forever. So for me, Andre the Ruyter single-handedly put the country on its knees. Going for the 2024 elections, he made sure that he exits at a time where the ANC will not be able to employ someone. I think they're still having an acting CEO right now, which was the former CFO. For me, which is crazy because CFO is included in all the procurements of Eskom, and now you're putting him there. And Andre the Ruyter said 1 billion is being stolen every month. Crazy numbers. But anyway, there's no way the ANC is going to survive or fix this problem by 2024 elections. I don't believe that's the case. I believe if ANC brings in Russia or China and say we have 100 billion, because remember they're bailing out Eskom with a lot of money every financial year. If they said we have 100 billion, China could probably fix our problem without any issues. We will then be left with the small issues of making sure that the coal is quality. They don't put stones and paint them black and crazy things like that. So for me, it's quite clear that Andre the Ruyter single-handedly, when he came to Eskom, he was not there to fix anything. Don't be fooled. Why Cyril Ramaphosa employed this man, we will never know. Or was he also part of the people who were putting the final nail on the coffin of ANC? I don't know. It's your boy King053. I do comment about news that affect us in South Africa, in Africa, and in the world at large. Very tired today, working on a lot of things, but I said, let me squeeze in this video because, we need to be speaking about this thing, and load shedding is going to kill us, guys. Load shedding is going to kill us. For us who are close to hospitals and stuff like that, we are surviving for now. For the rest of you who are experiencing stage 6 and whatever, I feel sorry for you guys. Feel sorry for you guys. We cannot strike. Just nobody's talking about striking and asking for demanding for a CEO to be employed, an engineer CEO to be employed, or bring back Brian Molefe. He already knows his story at Eskom. And no political party is talking about strike. They're all only pointing fingers. Nobody's coming out with the solution for Eskom. It's sad, guys. It's sad, guys. Remember, in everything that you do, don't forget to pray. Until next time, I salute you.